Welcome everybody to another Pokemon VGC discussion. It's me, Ketsu, and today we are going to be talking about a few Pokemon that can team up with some Mythicals of Regulation J. So, as we know, Regulation J is going to be around the corner very soon, coming up in November, which is going to come real fast. And of course, everyone is trying out what Mythicals pair up with which. And I think it's a pretty good idea today to talk about what I believe is going to be the best partners for most of the Mythicals. I haven't figured out some of the Mythicals because it's kind of hard to tell where they fit in, because some Mythicals just straight up aren't good. Some of them are a bit clunky to deal with, so it's a bit weird. But for now, we've got a few that I believe, one, are going to be really useful in the metagame, and two, has really good synergy with certain Pokemon here. So if you guys like this type of content and want to see more, let me know by leaving a like down below and maybe hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. But as you can see, we're going to be starting off with Pecharunt. Pecharunt was one of the first mythical Pokemon that I wanted to try out in Regulation J. I honestly love Pecharunt. I think Pecharunt is great, an amazing mon as well. Having its base stats here is really awesome, being 160 on its defense and then 88 across the board after that. It's quite nice. It holds off on a lot of good moves here. It's a shame it doesn't get moves like Body Press. If it got Body Press, you could give it Electric Seed with Miraidon and just be an absolute tank of a Pokemon. But it's already a tank as well anyway. Like, it's got respectable bulk, especially in its physical defense here. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad. But for me personally, I think the Pokemon that can fit really well with Pecharunt is either Wo-Chien or Ting-Lu. Because of their Ruin abilities here, Wo-Chien being able to lower down everyone's physical attack and Ting-Lu being able to lower down everyone's special attack, you have very like nice options here for Pecharunt to get use of this Poison Puppeteer ability, because that's, in my opinion, the main premise you want to kind of go for here. Since Pecharunt basically learns every single poisoning move in the game, it makes a lot more sense that that is kind of like the main focal point you want to focus on for Pecharunt. So being able to, you know, hit things with Malignant Chain, being able to get 50% chance of poisoning, and then you get, you know, confusion off of that. You've got things like Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, you've got Poison Gas, you've got all of these factors here that work really well for Pecharunt. And the whole point is that you want Pecharunt to kind of stand there, poison as much as you can, confuse as much as you can, and then be able to just tank blows as much as it physically can. And Wo-Chien and Ting-Lu, in my opinion, can help that very much so. Ting-Lu more than Wo-Chien, in my opinion, because this way you have things, you know, that can kind of help you, especially against things like Calyrex as well, since Calyrex is a lot faster than Pecharunt and would love to hit you with Astral Barrage. You've got Ting-Lu here that can kind of, you know, weaken Calyrex for the most part. You've got a really good option here with Ting-Lu, but Wo-Chien is also a very good pick here as well, because while you can also chip away at other physical attackers as well. Like, of course, you've got all these things like Ursaluna as well in the Trick Room, so it's really dependent on what your main focus is. So again, Wo-Chien is more so for the Ursalunas, like Trick Room Ursalunas that you're really worried about, and Pecharunt is more so there, or sorry, Ting-Lu there is more so for the Shadow Riders that you're also really worried about. So again, it kind of works in who are you more scared of and what can you do to kind of counteract this. So I think both of these have a really good factor here for Pecharunt, and it helps, you know, play the game out really well for Pecharunt, because again, you don't have to be a special attacker since that, but you are gonna initially think of being a special attacker because again, Malignant Chain is a special attacking move, but you do have Gunk Shot as well if you want to be a physical attacker. I believe you don't get Poison Jab, which is unfortunate. I would have thought you would have got Poison Jab. You have almost every single poison type move in the game except for Poison Jab, apparently. But okay, well, again, you're gonna more so want to be like a special attacker or a physical attacker. Again, you could go either which way, it doesn't really matter here, because again, even if you are a physical attacker, you still have Poison Gas as well, so it's not too bad. Like, you've got options here, but I personally think that there is a really nicer way to get these done, especially with Wo-Chien and Ting-Lu going here. The poison strats will be so high with Pecharunt. So next up, we're going to talk about Darkrai. Now, Darkrai is in this very funny state here. So as we all know, Darkrai and Smeargle previously have had a very good synergy together in the past, where it has been Smeargle using Dark Void, and then Darkrai taking over with Bad Dreams, and it's just been like a complete, you know, just a complete landslide with these two paired together. But of course, as time has gone by, things have changed. I believe that Smeargle doesn't learn, or can learn Dark Void, but doesn't use it. I think it fails if Smeargle uses it, and Darkrai's Dark Void is going down to a 50 base accuracy move. So again, while it is possible, it's very difficult to pull this off on putting both of your opponent's Pokemon to sleep in one shot. But there's kind of a workaround. So maybe instead of putting in Smeargle, in my opinion, it could be Sableye. I think Sableye is the new partner now for Darkrai. Yes, they are both weak to Fairy, but again, with Terrestrialization, you can kind of work around that. And again, you have more Pokemon here. You could kind of pair it up with other, you know, legendary Pokemon. Something like Zacian might be really good as well. You've got all of these good factors here. Something that can help you take on fighting types. Something that can help you take on Fairy types. Immediately, Zacian is the first thing that I've got in my mind. it's a very nice way to go for here. Like, yes, everyone's going to be using Miraidon as well to kind of counteract the sleep thing, which again, Zacian is faster than Miraidon without Scarf. Zacian is part fairy, so you have these factors here. Zacian could also be a good partner here, but we're not talking about Zacian today. We are talking about Sableye. Sableye is also a really, really good Pokemon here, in my opinion, here, because it gets Gravity. Now, Gravity is a move where it doesn't look like it does much, but it increases accuracy by 0.67%. So what this means is that Dark Void from Darkrai doesn't go from 50%, it goes all the way up. I don't know the specific maths in it, but it makes it so much more likely to put both of your active Pokemon to sleep. And since Darkrai is really, really fast as well, I think with max speed, with positive nature, it's 194. That is absurdly fast. Like, that is really, really fast. That's almost on the same tier as like Floodamane, Xianpao, Miraidon, Koraidon. He's very, very fast. He can be very, very fast. There's not a lot of Pokemon that can outspeed him. That's quite, you know, meta defining. So yeah, Darkrai's got something really, really good for him. But Sableye not only has Gravity, it's got a lot of other good things as well. It gets Taunt, especially with this Prankster ability as well. So you can get by with hitting, you know, faster Pokemon than Darkrai, because I know Shadow Rider gets Taunt. So if that was the case where, oh well, my Shadow Rider is just gonna go ahead of time and taunt your Darkrai, you can kind of counteract that and go like, well, my Sableye has Prankster, so it doesn't matter how fast your horse is, I'm always going to taunt you first, so you can't taunt my Darkrai. And because they're both dark types, you can't do Prankster taunt on them anyway, because Prankster taunt doesn't work on dark types. So you can work with things like taunt, you could work on things like Encore as well, because it gets Encore. You've got Fake Out on Sableye. You can even work up on screens because it gets both Reflect and Light Screen as well. You've got all of these really good factors here. You've got like Trick, Will-O-Wisp, T-Wave as well if you want to make them even slower, but then again, you're not really working on status because you're working on sleep. That's kind of the main premise here, but you still have those options. You still have these options here to make things really, really useful. You've got Quash as well. You've got Mean Look, so they can't even switch out. They're just stuck being asleep. There's so much you could do with this combination here. It's absolutely disgusting. And Darkrai, even though it can put Pokemon to sleep, it's still a really good special attacker. Like, especially if you put it in something like a Terra Fairy to counteract dark types and give it Terra Blast. Like, this thing can still hit really, really hard. This thing can hit respectably hard. And it is absolutely incredible. So these two paired together, I think, will be a really, really good synergy here. You've got a lot of factors here. You have so many factors here, and it is absolutely insane to see these two together. I'm kind of intrigued to see how these two are going to pair together here, because I do think Sableye and Darkrai can be a very, very dominant force together. Now, next thing I want to talk about is Arceus, and Arceus is just one of those Pokemon that fits anywhere. Like, Arceus is just a perfect partner for anyone in any situation. Like, we did mention this in our tier list video. I should hopefully be able to put a link down in the description below if you guys want to check out the tier list. But honestly, Arceus is just that Pokemon that can just fit any scenario at any time. It can be a fast sweeper, it can be a slow sweeper, it can be bulky support, it could be offensive support, it could be, you know, it can just do a lot of different things to you. Its moveset is so diverse, it is absolutely insane. You've got so much going for you. Like, look at all of the moveset that it can get. It's got so much of a moveset, it is absolutely insane. You can do so much for Arceus as well. You've got so much going for it. So if you're like, oh, well, I want to have a special attacking fire type that's not Chiyu, you've got Fire Arceus. It's like, oh, well, I want a physical attacking ice type, but I want it to be fast, like not like Ice Rider Calyrex. You can do Arceus Ice. It's like, oh, I want a special attacking grass type because there's not really that many around. Grass Arceus. You have all of these factors here for Arceus. It's so good. Like, it's really, really good. You've got so much for it. Like, it can just fit any scenario at any time. Like, it's really good. So I think Arceus is one of those perfect Pokemon here that doesn't exactly need a partner. If anything, you're building the team around Arceus to think about what can you do to keep Arceus safe, rather than what can Arceus do to slot into a team. It's absolutely insane. You could go, it's nuts. Like, Arceus is great. Now, next up, we have Hoopa, and I'm going to qualify both Hoopas in this situation here because both of them can pretty much do the same thing. Both of them are pretty much within the same category here, which I'm going to explain in a second, but I'm going to give them Electric Seed more specifically because of Miraidon. I think Miraidon is a very, very good partner for both Hoopa Unbound and Hoopa. I think they are both really, really good with Miraidon because of the fact that you can get Electric Seed. Rillaboom is also a decent partner you can get for it, but I think because Miraidon is a restricted, it's more powerful, it's faster, it can just hit a lot harder, it's just a lot better for Hoopa as well. And considering that, looking at its base stats as well, base 60 defense is really, really bad. So if you was to give it a decent amount of, you know, EVs keys into the defense plus a +1 on top of that, you are hitting really, really good numbers. You're hitting really, really good numbers, and you're evening it out pretty nicely. The fact that as well, Hoopa, not the Unbound version, just the regular version, gets things like Trick Room, it kind of falls into that Lunala slot. Same typing, same moveset, or I think it's, if anything, slower than Lunala, so it benefits you more in Trick Room, which is something that we've seen with Miraidon before. We've seen Lunala Trick Room with Miraidon, we've seen Ice Rider Calyrex with Miraidon in Trick Room. It's not an impossible feat. Even before Reg I, we've seen it with Farigiraf in Trick Room as well. So Miraidon is just one of those Pokemon that can help the rest of its team within Trick Room, but it's also a really good Pokemon when it's out of Trick Room at the same time, which fits this whole category of both of these Hoopas. And not on top of that, Hoopa Unbound is just a really, really good physical and special attacker as well, being able to have Hyperspace Fury as well, because since Miraidon likes to go with a lot of choice items like Choice Specs and Choice Scarf, a lot of people like to protect on the first turn to try and see what Miraidon's going to lock into so they can work around it. But because both Hoopa and Hoopa Unbound have their Hyperspace signature moves, it breaks Protect. So you don't get that option anymore. You don't get the benefit of being like, right, I'm just going to Protect, I'm going to see how this goes, and then we're going to kind of just like work on from there. It's like, no, you have to act like this turn. You have to act this specific turn or it's going to go nowhere. And it's really good. Like, I think it's a really, really good play here. I think it's a really, really awesome strat to go for. I quite like it. I like this with Hoopa and Hoopa Unbound. I think both having Electric Seed just works really well. And on top of that, it also boosts up their ability with Magician, because if this Pokemon has no item, as it says, it steals the item off a Pokemon when it attacks it. So again, you can use that Electric Seed, get the +1 boost up the defense, have no item, and then the minute you attack someone, you snatch that item from them. As long as it's not consumed within that time, you snatch the item from them. So say again, if it was like, oh, there's a clear amulet Ice Rider, I could just do Hyperspace Fury with Hoopa Unbound, take the clear amulet, and I might have Incineroar in the back, and then I could just swap over, put Incineroar in, and start chipping away with Intimidate. Or someone might have a Covert Cloak, I can snatch the Covert Cloak. Now I'm not scared of getting faked out, or getting my attack dropped, or getting my speed drop with Icy Wind, or anything like that. It's really, really interesting to see Magician actually have somewhat of a use here, because I think the only one before that was Delphox, and nobody used Delphox like that. I think Delphox got used like once, like 3 regulations ago, and that was about it. So yeah, it's nice to see that Magician might actually have something for us going, which is quite nice. Now, of course, there's Magearna. I can't go through this without talking about Magearna as well. We're going to be talking about all the top tiers here. So Magearna, again, is a very, very good Pokemon. One of those Pokemon that, again, can fit really, really well in almost any team. I want to say almost any team. Not every team, but almost every team. Because Soul Heart is just a really, really busted ability as well. Raising 1 special attack for every Pokemon that faints. Doesn't matter if it's your side or opponent's side. As long as a Pokemon goes down, it will pick up the Soul Heart. So it's quite interesting here. I've seen it paired up with Miraidon, I've seen it paired up with Ice Rider, but I would say Ice Rider is probably the better partner for it, because it's just so, it's a slow Pokemon, it's really good in Trick Room, and then the fact that you've got both of these two really slow Pokemon just like, you know, gaining +1s all the time whenever somebody drops, it's not pretty. It's not pretty after a while, and it's just like these two just hitting you constantly back to back, and then just going like, yeah, gain +1 special attack, gain +1 physical attack, +1 special, +1 physical every single time. And it's like, if you focus on the horse, it's like, oh, Magearna's like, oh, I'm gonna get +1 special. But if you focus on Magearna, it's like, oh, well, you've got the bulky Ice Rider here that's already on +1 or potentially +2. It's not pretty. Like, it's not a pretty pairing, and I think these two are absolutely insane. Magearna also being able to get Trick Room as well, which is quite nice as well. Its signature ability Flow Cannon is being, you know, a fairy type, which is quite nice. It's basically Fairy Draco Meteor, which is really, really good. So yeah, you've got a lot of factors here, and I think these two work insanely good together, like ridiculously good together. So the last Pokemon I wanted to talk about was Volcanion. This is the only other Pokemon that I can think has really, really good synergy with some mons in the format right now. And I think Volcanion's really, really good. I did mention this in the tier list as well, that Volcanion can be a very underrated Pokemon. I've not seen a lot of people use Volcanion like that. So I personally think there's a lot of good aspects for Volcanion here. Being able to have Water Absorb is really, really good, because you counteract Urshifu, which is like the main water type you're looking at here. You can also counteract things like Kyogre as well, which is really, really good. Its moveset is quite diverse. You get Earth Power, you've got Flamethrower, obviously, Flash Cannon, you've got Heat Wave, you've got a Hydro Pump, you've got Scald, I'm pretty sure. Yep, you've got Scald. You can even get Sludge Bomb, Sludge Wave, its signature move, Steam Eruption. Like, you've got a lot of good things going for Volcanion. And on top of that as well, you also have a lot of good status moves, a lot of good supporting moves. Things like Haze is really good. You've got things like Will-O-Wisp. You've got Taunt as well, which is always a really good move to go for. You've got Substitute if you want to make this especially bulky as well. You've got a lot of good things for Volcanion, and I think Volcanion is going to be so underrated here. But I think in terms of like Pokemon that can really aid it, I believe it's obviously the two weather typings, that being Rain and Sun, which is obviously Kyogre and Koraidon. So Kyogre being able to just be this defensive juggernaut, like it's just got so much bulk, it's got so much good bulk, it's got so much good stuff for it, and the fact that Volcanion can also get Earth Power, as we established before, or even Scorching Sands if that's something you kind of want to go for. I wouldn't assume so, but Earth Power 100%. You can counteract things like Raging Bolt, which would love to hit Kyogre. Even if you went Terra Grass and you're running up against a Sun team, and you're like, right, well, I'm facing a Sun team now, and this isn't going to be so good because now I'm Terra Grass. You've got Volcanion here that's like, well, I'm still Water type, and I still have a good Water type move here. I can just do a Water type into your guy here. It's not too bad. So like, yeah, it's a really nice strat here. It's a really nice way to get things going. It's just amazing. Like, it's a really, really amazing synergy here, especially between Volcanion and Kyogre. I think these two would be really, really good together. But there's also Koraidon. I think Koraidon would work more as that offensive set with Volcanion, because Volcanion isn't obviously the most fast Pokemon on board, but it does have very respectable bulk. 120 defense, 90 base special defense, and 80 HP. I think it's quite respectable. I think it does have a lot of respect in that regard. So being able to have like a really fast, really aggressive Koraidon with a really bulky, also really aggressive Volcanion, you've got these mons here that kind of like tit for tat with each other, which is just amazingly well, especially with their typings as well. Koraidon being timed 4 weak to Fairy, whereas Volcanion is resistant to Fairy. At least one of them is surviving a hit from Fairy types, which obviously things like Fluttermane is going to be there. You've got things like Zacian as well, because Zacian would have to pop the Terra, because you've got a Fire type Pokemon right there. It's like, yes, you can hit Koraidon, but then you've still got the Volcanion here to worry about. You've got a lot of good factors here. There are a lot of good factors here for Volcanion as well. I think these two synergize also really, really well here, especially if you went into something like a Terra Fire. So you've got things like, you know, you've got ground types, you've got rock types, you've also got other water types. Volcanion's also here to tank the water absorbs from the water types. And yes, while it can be weak to ground and rock, if you time it wrong, if the opponent times it wrong, you can hit them with the Earth Power, you can hit them with the Steam Eruption, you can hit them with the Scald. You've got all of these factors here, which is just so perfect. It's so amazing. Like, these two synergize beautifully well, and especially with Volcanion and Kyogre as well. I think regardless of which one you want to pick here, I think they synergize tremendously well, like amazingly well. Even thinking about it now, you can even pair it up with Groudon as well, because Groudon also gets Drought, and again, Groudon being weak to grass types, being weak to water types, Volcanion can just come in and be like, well, I'm tanking the water types because of Water Absorb, I don't care about the grass types because I'm just getting neutral damage, and I quad resist the ice types like Ice Rider Calyrex, so I can just hit these guys however much I want. You can even pop something like a Terra Grass if you really want to, and then you've got like Terra Blast obviously, or even in front of a grass type as well, you've got like Sludge Bomb. If there's things like Ice Rider Calyrex that wants to go Terra Fire, you've got Earth Power. This is why we're talking about the Terra Blast Grass as well, in case he wants to go into a water type. You've even got things like Wild Charge, which is quite interesting, but like, again, physical attacking move, you don't really want to deal with that. So you've got a lot of factors here, and I think Volcanion works really well into either weather. I think, again, Volcanion is going to be very underlooked, and I think Volcanion is going to be an amazingly good Pokemon, especially when weather is involved. I think this thing is going to have such a good, amazing aura when the weather comes out. But let me know what you guys think. I'm really looking forward to Regulation J. I'm excited to see what everybody, you know, makes at the end of this thing. I'm also making my teams now as well. I think I've got past that whole confusion stage. I'm very excited to try out some teams here. I'm working on around 3 Mythicals right now, so I'm very excited to use these guys. But let me know what you think. What restricted are you excited using? What Mythical are you excited of using? And what team are you planning for the future of Regulation J? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.